Hi everybody, my name is the Bard of Shale, and welcome to the Countdown Depot. Today we will be getting our domesticated wild side on by going through my choices for the top 10 cats in fiction. Now I chose this topic specifically because cats happen to be one of my mom's favorite things and it's her birthday today. So in honor of my mom, I've culminated my top 10 favorite felines from across various forms of media. Beginning at number 10, we go with one of the classics, Garfield. Now, everyone knows Garfield. He hates Mondays, loves pasta, or any kind of food really, and enjoys tormenting Odie. Although, if from time to time, Garfield can be shown to be caring. I mean, he may not like Odie, but after a while, he has developed a strong bond. He's basically the kind of cat that everyone can relate to. He can be easily annoyed if things don't go his way. But isn't that what all people go through? It's just some have more patience than others. And he's extremely self-reliant like any other normal cat. Moving on to number 9, we have Jibanyan. Now, one could say that he's technically a ghost, considering he's a yokai after all, but his story is a rather interesting one. Jibanyan here was once a normal cat until the day his owner was almost ran down by a truck, pushing her out of the way and taking the hit himself. Now he spends his days trying to prove himself to be stronger than any truck. When he's not punching trucks at the intersection where he was killed, he spends most of his time lazing around and eating chocolate bars. But don't let that fool you. He can throw a punch if necessary. There are many forms of cat yokai in the Yokai Watch games, but Jibanyan has grown to be quickly the fan favorite. At number 8, we have Doom Kitty. From a really nice show called Ruby Gloom, Doom Kitty is the resident black cat of the Haunted Mansion. Well, not really haunted, but in any case, her personality is very interesting, especially considering the fact that instead of talking like most of the other characters or meowing, uh, the people in charge of the show made all the sounds she makes with violin. Creative, if you ask me, and her expressions are just funny. She walks that fine line between cute and uh, the sassy attitude of a cat sometimes, but you just can't help but smile whenever she's on screen. For number 7, we have that old-time chiseler, Top Cat. Now, I could have gone with any of Top Cat's gang, but where would they be without their boss? Top Cat spends most of his time in every episode of his show trying to find a way to make a quick buck without doing any actual hard work. It kind of reminds me of Al from My Friend Irma. But, I mean, deep down he is a nice guy, but with that kind of personality he has, even if you know he's trying to cheat you out of some money, or take your money for some illegitimate service, you just can't be mad at him, no matter how hard you try. At number 6, we got Morgana. Now, I've never played the Persona video games, but I have seen the Persona 5 anime, and in both cases, Morgana is, well, one clever cat, even though he claims to be a human. But whatever he is, I won't spoil the ending for you. He is the right paw man of the Phantom Thieves, basically the brains of the outfit, always knowing about the targets they go after, where and how to steal the treasure from. And when he's not in the mental world, he's usually hanging out with the main protagonist in his backpack, helping him out at school, going with him, making sure none of the other Phantom Thieves get into trouble. Basically, he's one cat that you'd want to have by your side. At number 5, we have Rita from the Animaniacs. Now, Rita is an interesting case. If any of you watch the classic Animaniacs TV show, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you do, or are going to binge watch, considering the fact that at the time of this video, the reboot will be coming out soon. Rita and her partner Runt spent most of their cartoon segments trying to look for a new place to stay, often with Rita breaking into a song at a particularly emotional moment. Now, I was a bit of an Animaniacs fan myself. I'm hoping that their segments will come back when the show's reboot starts. I'm not exactly sure, but at this point all we've seen is the old cast members of Yakko, Wacko, Dot, Pinky, and the Brain returning. I'm not sure about the other characters. But here's hoping that other familiar faces will return when the show comes, but I'll speak in more detail once I see the first episode. For number 4, all the cat Pokemon. Yeah, I know it might be a little bit cheating of me, but I just couldn't pick one of them. I mean, we've got cute Litten, the ever classic Meowth. We've also got Purloin, Glameow, and the ever so cute Skitty. I mean, there's a plethora of cat Pokemon, so any of you cat fans who play Pokemon can easily take your pick well enough. At number 3, we have Miley. She hails from a cartoon called Kitty Is Not a Cat, and Miley is the sort of loner artist of the group. And she prides herself on being serious, but she has the kind of serious that just makes you want to chuckle. Often staying alone and hiding her true talents, fearing that people will judge her, and I can kind of relate to that in some ways. But yeah, she's sort of like the older, serious, emo sister of the group. At number 2, we have Chester from Bunnicula. Chester is the logical guy, but he's also afraid of the paranormal, and tries to prove that everything can be solved with, as he puts it, science! Sorry, I had to do that. In any case. Now, while he tends to jump at the slightest monster, over time he's gotten used to the shenanigans of his vampire friend Bunnicula, vampire rabbit friend Bunnicula, and often is the one to come up with the solutions to all the wacky shenanigans that goes on in the Orlock apartments. Now, before getting to my number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Everyone's favorite denizen of the 100-Acre Wood, Tigger, always pouncing with a smile on his face. Now, the rest of the cats from the household of Kitty's Not a Cat, any one of them could have made the list, like the Naz, King Tubby, Spook, but I just figured what good would it be to mention one and not them all? Of course, the Pink Panther, the suave Jazz Cat, who you could say gets into as much trouble as Bugs or Daffy. Then, of course, there's the oldest cat on this list, Felix, hailing from the era of black and white cartoons, and of course Tom. Now, while I do enjoy the occasional Tom and Jerry cartoon, you gotta feel sorry for Tom sometimes. I mean, it doesn't happen often, but there are times where he simply just needs a break. I mean, there are times where he's not even pestering Jerry and Jerry bothers him. Uh, I know it sounds like I'm getting a bit sentimental, but I'm the kind of guy who likes to look at a character and say, what did he do to deserve that? Okay, enough serious talk. Number one might surprise you. It's Hobbes from the Calvin and Hobbes comics. I used to love reading these when I was a kid, seeing all the wacky adventures that a boy and his stuffed tiger could get into. Hobbes is more of the serious guy, but will not hesitate to pounce Calvin when he gets in the door or starts opening a can of tuna fish. But all in all, he's a light-hearted fellow who would do anything for his best friend. Well, that's my list of the top 10 cats in fiction. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If there were any specific cats in fiction you like, please leave a comment below. And that's about it. So this is the Barter Shell signing off. And happy birthday, Mom.